You know, when you walk into your local library, you see the usual stuff, right? Books, computers, the librarians helping people out. But behind all of that, there's this invisible support system, a really powerful network that's making sure your library is the best it can be. So let's peek behind the curtain and see what's going on.
I mean, have you ever thought about it? When the big issues pop up, like funding cuts or debates about censorship, or even just the need for new technology, who's the one that steps up and speaks for all libraries? A single librarian, or even one super passionate librarian, can only make so much noise on their own.
And that's really the heart of it. These are big, professional issues with huge consequences, and they demand a collective, coordinated voice. This is where professional associations come into play. They're the megaphone, turning thousands of individual whispers into one powerful, unified shout.
So let's dig into that. What's the real purpose of these groups? Why do they even exist, and what are they trying to accomplish?
Well, at its core, a professional association is an organization that's built by professionals for professionals. It's a whole structure they create to take care of their shared needs, protect their collective interests, and just push the entire field of librarianship forward. And trust me, their to-do list is huge. They're advocates, pushing for important new laws. They're the ones setting high standards, making sure you get great service no matter which library you go to. And on top of all that, they're supporters, fighting for better pay and working conditions for librarians, which, when you think about it, helps every single person who uses a library. Okay, so we get the why. But what about the how? How do they actually manage to do all of this? Let's take a look at their playbook. You can pretty much boil down everything they do into 4 key activities. First, they gather everyone together with conferences so they can share ideas. Second, they educate, not just their members, but the public too, with journals and training. Third, they advocate. They're the ones lobbying the government for more funding and support. And finally, they standardize, creating a shared rulebook with ethics and best practices. It's a really smart, comprehensive strategy. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? They become that single, powerful voice that can actually talk to governments and the public on behalf of an entire profession. Now, this isn't just a local thing. This is a massive, global network of professionals all working toward the same goals. Let's look at a couple of big examples. You've got the heavyweights, like the American Library Association, the ALA. It's the oldest and largest in the world, started way back in 1876. Then, over in the UK, you have CILIP, which is a more modern group that's really zeroed in on promoting excellence. It just goes to show how these groups can look different but still be the backbone of the profession. And this movement has really deep roots everywhere. In India, for example, librarians started organizing over 100 years ago with smaller regional groups. That momentum eventually led to creating a national powerhouse, the Indian Library Association, or ILA, back in 1933.
And the ILA is a perfect case study. Its goals line up exactly with that playbook we just talked about. They promote the whole library movement, they push for laws, they publish research, and they fight for librarians on both the national and the world stage. It's the playbook in action.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. Organizations, goals, history. But what does all this behind-the-scenes work actually mean for you, the person who just wants to check out a book?
Well, at the end of the day, this is the network that transforms a library from just being a building full of books into a living, breathing professional public service. It's the engine that's quietly running in the background, making it all work.
The impact on your local library is actually huge. Because of these associations, the librarians you meet are well-trained and follow a code of ethics. They're the ones fighting for the government funding that literally keeps the lights on. They champion policies that protect your right to access information. Oh, and they also build the systems that let you borrow a book from a library halfway across the country. It's amazing. It kind of makes you think, right? From doctors and teachers to engineers, maybe even pilots. What other invisible networks are out there, quietly working in the background to set standards, fight for resources, and shape the professions that we all rely on every single day?